This event is a space of resistance and remembrance, a space rooted in love, advocacy, and truth-telling in the face of HIV/AIDS and injustice. A space of recognition that we will never be content with being silent or invisible.
This event is so critically important because it's a time for us to honor the legacy of a man, Bayard Rustin, who spent his life organizing a movement that was critical to ensure that civil rights were codified, protected, and building a legacy that we all stand on to this day.
The breakfast was established at a time there was great resistance to the work of persons living with AIDS, PWAs, HIV activists, and the goal at that time was to create community for prevention, education, and intervention.
Bayard Rustin's legacy has really, for me, kept the movement alive, knowing that I can be out loud and proud and still do the work. I think at a time where he had to, though he was loud and proud, but still needed to be hidden in some way, for me just makes me want to be even louder about who I am and prouder about who I am. I tell people everywhere I go, I'm like, girl, I'm Black and I'm queer.
My name is Philip Robinson. I've been a committee member for the past 33 years. And the reason why I came on board was that I felt that at the time there were so many questions, so much fear regarding many of my brothers and sisters and others who were dying from HIV and AIDS. So having the Bayard Rustin Committee proved to be a sounding board or a safe haven for us to meet and discuss and navigate and process all the hurt that we were dealing with in terms of how to deal with this new epidemic known as HIV and AIDS.
I could call this breakfast Old Home Week, Old Home Day. I feel it's a way that the community comes together. We come together for a common cause, and it brings me great joy. Year after year, we see people coming, families, bringing in their children, bringing their spouses, bringing their friends. You know what I mean? And they always say to me, I'm learning something. I relearned something about Bayard Rustin. I relearned something about the community in general.
I hope that people feel love first. I hope that people feel joy, but I also hope that people feel empowered and inspired and revived.
And so the community is essentially the catalyst for being able to build any coordinated campaign and any long-term movement. And that takes all of us. It takes a coordinated attempt for all of us to influence, to show up, and to continue to ensure that all voices are at the table, because if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. And so we have to ensure that all voices are represented in community in a large tent.
I am proud to welcome you to the 35th Bayard Rustin Community Breakfast, a sacred space where legacy meets urgency. And this year, we gather under the powerful theme, from the margins to the movement. Because that's exactly what Bayard Rustin did. His life reminds us that liberation doesn't begin in the spotlight. It begins at the margins with voices too often silenced, the identities of people too often erased. As Audre Lorde so powerfully said, there is no hierarchy of oppression. None of us are free until all of us are free.
In many parts of the U.S., the hard-won progress in diversity, equity, and inclusion is being rolled back. This is not just as a political issue. It's not just a political issue here. It's a matter of justice. It's a matter of human dignity and respect. The fight for equality has always been an uphill battle, Today, while we face another crisis in the form of rising hate, particularly transphobic rhetoric, we must remember that we have the power to push back. The same way Bayard Rustin spoke with truth to power. We must continue to speak out, stand up, and fight back against policies that harm our communities. It's up to us to spread love. We must show trans children across the country that they are seen, they are loved, and they are not alone.
And my curiosity led me to being curious about the needs of other people. I was always thinking about, how do people feel in this moment? Are they included? What's preventing them from being and feeling included in that moment? And that has allowed me to be a voice for the people who are unable to lift up their voices. I support them by lifting up their voices and what they have to say and their needs until they are able to do that themselves.
There's so much power in this room. And I guess, I don't want to be cheesy, but thank you. Because there's so many people, so many luminaries, so many of my heroes in this room who've been doing this work for decades and fighting this fight. I can only aspire to try to continue this work that you have started in very difficult conditions.
It felt like it was like motivation to move forward, especially in this current climate, but it was also very spiritual. And just being able to realize that people who came before us were activists in times that were harder, and still were able to do it. And that was just encouraging for us to be like, even while we're going through what we're going through right now, we have the same strength they had to move on.
And I believe that a revolution is calling, and I'm hoping that people get that today, to really take those who are in the margins and really move. I'm hoping that's the message.
And in a time right now where so many people might feel disconnected, lonely, that people might feel that they don't have a voice. It's communities like this. It's times when we bring people together and remind them that we are all in this together, that it becomes so critical to moving the movement forward. It's not just about coming together and saying some words, it's about remembering hope, remembering the promise, remembering that this is a long moral arc of history, and we are in this together.